All right. Hello, fabulous you. I am here with the fabulous Darrell Watson, and I am talking to local business owners about their personal businesses and just wanting to know how they can help you. So, Darrell, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and tell everybody thank you for helping me find my house, which we really enjoy.
Well, can you believe it's almost been 4 years since you purchased? Like February 2018 is when you bought it.
So it's incredible.
Right.
And the value has gone up a lot.
That is right. Yes, you've got that equity, and that's always a beautiful thing. So, Darrell, we met when I was just getting started in real estate. It was probably 2016, and we had lunch and we brainstormed just ways to grow our businesses. So I really enjoyed that and loved networking with you. So thank you so much for being here. Darrell, will you tell everybody what your path looked like to get into insurance?
I will. My first passion was being a pastor. And for 28 years, I was the pastor of 4 different churches. The last pastorate was for 13 years at First Baptist Church in Forsyth, which is just above Macon. And when I met my wife-to-be, her father was a State Farm insurance agent. So when I got out of the pastorate, I suppose the seed had been planted, and that's kind of what led me to being a State Farm insurance agent.
That's fantastic. So you have been doing it for how long now?
I became a State Farm employee the middle of 2016, and then I opened my agency on January the 1st, 2017. So I've just completed my first 5 years as an agent.
That's awesome. I know you experienced tremendous growth in those years. When I first met you, your office was located on Grayson Highway, and now you're on Grayson New Hope. So what does your business look like now compared to when you started? How is it different?
We started in the place that we started because the retiring agent had his office there. And for probably 15 years, he had rented that specific spot. And when the building on New Hope Road became available, my wife and I fell in love with it. And instead of renting, we decided we wanted to buy. So we moved to Grayson New Hope Road, and it has brought a great deal more business because there's no other businesses on Grayson New Hope, and people see my sign, and we've had a lot more walk-ins. We're just a lot more noticed. I think the biggest difference, probably 2 big differences. Number one, my understanding of insurance has certainly grown over the last 5 years, and also the assembly of my team. We now have 3 full-time salespeople, one of which is a Hispanic-speaking person, and I have a full-time service person who I hired and has been with me for the last 5 years. But in the office, we now have probably almost 50 years of insurance experience. So we are really better able to attend to whatever need our customers have.
That's awesome. All right. So talk to us about how you help protect some of their biggest asset.
All right.
Their home.
That's kind of a misnomer. most people would say that their biggest or greatest asset is their house. And I used to think that that was the case myself until an agent challenged us in saying, well, if you were to say over a 10-year period, which is larger, your cumulative compensation or salary or your house? And most people will say, well, over a 10-year period, my compensation is even bigger than my house.
Definitely.
So one of the things that we like to do at our office is we want to make sure to help people develop and maintain a planned protection portfolio.
Okay.
It's made up of 7 components. Your auto is 1, home is 2, 3 is life and long-term care, 4 is asset protection, 5 is health, 6 is finance protection, and 7 is final will protection. We go through, and in fact, this past weekend, I spent about an hour and a half with my daughter and son-in-law going through all 7 of those elements, trying to identify where there were maybe some gaps and some concerns. And in their case, she needed a short-term disability policy, which we have written to protect her compensation. And my son-in-law needed a long-term care plan. And long-term care is one of the most neglected pieces of anybody's financial portfolio. It's averaging about $6,000 a month for long-term care. So what we like to do is sit down, go through each of those elements with our clients and make sure they have the coverage they need to protect themselves in each of those 7 areas.
That's amazing and very thorough. So plan protection portfolio is what you said that was.
Right.
Okay.
We ask the question, are you P3 prepared? Plan protection portfolio.
3P's. All right.
Right.
I love it. So I have been offering my clients and database a free home equity analysis, and whether they want to sell or refinance, take money out to do renovations to their home, or have a down payment to, buy an investment property. So I wanted to ask you about just insuring their home to protect them if anything were to happen, a fire,
Absolutely.
flood, any kind of devastation to the house, like making sure they're protected. So the home equity analysis can also help them with that insurance. So would you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, one of the things that's very, very important is whether you go with a company like State Farm or another company, is make sure that your home policy is a replacement cost policy and not an actual cash value property. The actual cash value, when you do your assessment to figure out the worth of the house, the value of the house, then we typically will write that policy at that particular value, okay? But as time goes on, construction costs go up.
Right.
So actually, it's more costly to rebuild your house than it is to buy your house. So what a replacement cost value does is it gives you 120% of the value of your home. So that if it was a catastrophic fire that just wiped you out, you would be able to rebuild a like structure, and you would use the extra 20% to cover the cost of new construction. So that's incredibly important. Replacement cost versus actual cash value.
Okay. Love that. Thank you for explaining that. And the last thing I wanted to ask you, what are some of your business goals for 2022?
Well, I have about 1,700 automobile policies, and my goal is to get to 2,000 auto policies this year. I have about 1,050 fire policies, which homeowners, renters, personal articles policies, personal liability umbrella policies. My goal is to get to like 1,250 fire policies. And we are really concentrating on making sure that people have the adequate amount and the correct type of life insurance that will not only cover their debt, but will also provide them the money when they are old to either borrow against the life insurance policy to pay for long-term care or surrender the policy to help pay for long-term care. And when you borrow against the policy, there are no tax consequences, and you can't borrow the total death benefit. So you have a lot of different pots to pull from to cover a lot of different needs if you have the right type of life insurance. So we're really concentrating on helping our clients get that right type of life insurance to cover a lot of different needs.
That's awesome, Darrell. That is really, really good. Is there anything else that I haven't asked you that you'd like to share? Something that they should know about you and your State Farm business?
I think that there are some agents' offices that have basically a call center, and all they're trying to do is sell. And I understand that because that's the way we're compensating. But I think that it's very important, and it's very important to my agency that if we have you as a customer, we're here to answer any and all questions that you might have. And I try to do what's called an insurance and financial review with all of my clients every year to 2 years, so that we can talk through the changes they've had in family. If you're divorced, if you've had more children, if your kids are empty nesters, all of those things make a huge difference in what type of protection portfolio you need. So if you want an agency that will walk with you and attend to your needs today, tomorrow, and well into the future, I encourage you to consider Darrell Watson State Farm.
Darrell, I appreciate that. And I know you are involved in the community. I'm sure we'll see you at Grayson Days in April,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes. Well, I appreciate your time today, and it was so informative. I took lots of notes. When I post this on Facebook, I will be including all of your contact information so people can get in touch with you with any questions that they have, and hopefully sign up with you. And we thank you for your time, and look forward to talking with you again soon.
That sounds great. Thank you for doing this.
You're so welcome, Darrell.
Okay.
Have a blessed day.
Same to you. Bye-bye.